tonight, as you can see, that box right there is just about plumb full of sawdust, and there's a big old pile of sawdust right here on the ground. And I blew sawdust all over the place. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at what I was doing, which is where you're supposed to be looking. And that fan was sucking it up and blowing it out there. I've made one heck of a mess this morning. I have been peeling the bark. I took a screwdriver and shove it into the bark and peel the bark off, and then take my angle grinder with the sanding disc on it. And these new sanding discs that Harbor Freight has, I've done a lot of wood today and yesterday with that sanding disc, and it's really held up well. That's the only one I've used. And I've got 4 more over there. I could put more on there. Look how thick it is still. It's really done a good job. And as far as sandpaper goes, this is some of that new Harbor Freight sandpaper. And I sanded a whole lot of stuff today. I mean, for 8 hours, I've been sanding and grinding. Well, you can see the ground, all the dust on the ground. And this fan, it's Harbor Freight. That planer is from Harbor Freight. That's from Lowe's, and that's from Craftsman. But the plane done a great job. And I'll tell you something that I figured out. This thing kept on stopping up right here because this barrel, I don't have this barrel fixed the way it needs to be fixed. The barrel I have that's fixed the way it needs to be fixed to keep the sawdust inside of it is at home. So this thing was sucking up these big pieces of dust and clogging it up here. Then it would blow it up here and clog it up here. You know, and it would be trying to get out. And I took those 2 screens out. And I'm not telling anybody to take your screens out, because those are there for safety. But I took those screens out. Look how far that stuff has been thrown out there now. It sucks so much better since I took those screens out. Heck, they were cutting the airflow almost in half. Well, let's see. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That's 18 feet right here from that barrel. And there's sawdust all the way out here. 18 feet. It's blowing at 18 feet. That's pretty damn good. I don't care who you are. But I'll show you what I got done in here. I still didn't work on my through the wall kit because it rained again today. But I did get a bunch of this pile. I tore it down. That stuff right there that I'm not going to throw it away, but I'm not going to clean it unless I absolutely have to, because it's really not very good stuff. And in here, I've started me some new stacks. Now these stacks right here have been sanded. The live edge has been sanded, and they've been ran through the plane, and they're ready to go. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of sanding on them with 220 grit paper after they get dry, but as of right now, they're planed, and the live edge has been sanded, but not the rest of it. But like I said, I'll have to go back over it with 220, which is no big deal. I mean, it'll be run up and down it, and it'll be done. But that's from about 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning. That's what I've done. That's it. It's just take the bark off, take an angle grinder to it, knock the extra bark off where the dirt and stuff is at on the edge of the live edge, and then take 150 grit sandpaper on an orbiting sander and sand it. And that's what I've done today. And it is a couple minutes till 4 right now. So that's a lot of work when you start doing it like that. It's a whole lot of work. I got, as you can see, I got the rest of my metal up in here all the way around, and I got the rest of my baseboard up in this room all the way around. I got in here real early this morning and got that done. It was not as bad as I thought it would be. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. Yeah, so you know, it's coming along. Everything's coming along really, really good. I just wish this whole stack right here was done. I'm gonna leave the ceiling fans on in here tonight, and I'm gonna turn on the air conditioner here in a few minutes. It's been off since I got out here this morning, about 4:45 this morning. I got out here and went to work, and it's been off since then. And the humidity was in the 80s this morning whenever I opened the door. Between about 75 and 80. And it's back up almost to 90 again, it looks like, or right at 90. And the temperature, it's really not been bad outside today at all because the rain has kept it cool. But anyways, the little plasma cutter worked fantastic. Everything went really well. I wish I could have gotten more done, but I figure, you know, I got all the metal up, I got the baseboards up, I got all of that bark peeled, grinded, and sanded, and planed. And I planed every one of those boards probably 3 and some of them 4 times. You know, because when you're dealing with stuff coming from the sawmill, sometimes it's a little thicker on one end than it is the other end, and I wanted them all to be pretty uniform, and they are now. They weren't when I started, but they are now. But it's amazing to me just how far that thing was throwing the sawdust out there. But anyways, I sure appreciate you guys checking in with me. And oh, and I was telling you about that sandpaper. This is the sandpaper that I got right here. And I've sanded all that wood in there with one piece of sandpaper, and then just not, I don't know, maybe 15 boards ago, I finally put on another piece of sandpaper. But that's it, and it worked really, really well. I was really impressed. I bought this pack a few weeks ago. I got 220 grit for my final work, and then this right here to kind of yank it off and smooth it down, and it really was aggressive. Actually, this one was still cutting pretty good. It was just starting to kind of come apart from me being pretty rough with it. But that's the sandpaper, and like I said, I was impressed. I thought it did a really, really good job. Well, you guys take care, and thank you so much for checking in with me. I really do appreciate it, and you have a good evening.